Happy Sunday, BBN, and welcome into an early edition of the KSR Weekly Roundup. Happy Sunday, BBN. I, of course, am Brent Wayne Scott, and welcome into another edition of the KSR Weekly Roundup brought to you by Justice Dental. For obvious reasons, we're going to come to you early this week because the Packers are playing for a trip to the Super Bowl today, and kickoff is in a few hours, and if they win, I'm going to celebrate probably for the next 2 weeks, and if they lose, I'm going to be too distraught to do this, so we're fresh off a Kentucky win, so let's just do it. So this Kentucky team continues to fascinate all of us. After a demoralizing 63-62 loss to Georgia on Wednesday night, they turn right back around and just basically outpace statistically the best scoring offense in the SEC. Kentucky jumped out to an early 15-point lead against the Tigers on Saturday and even scored 49 points in the first half, which is a benchmark for this season. But, of course, the offense once again staled out a little bit in the second half, but Kentucky was able to keep enough things going offensively for them to cruise to an 82-69 victory over the LSU Tigers. Obviously, the biggest takeaway from the LSU game was the improvement on offense. Just 3 days before, Kentucky only scored 62 points in a loss to Georgia, and they also only made 4 threes. But Kentucky opened up a game against LSU in which they started 5 from 8 from three-point land, and John Calipari went with the one big lineup for most of the first half. That created more space on offense, allowed more shots to fall. Kentucky was throwing up lobs, and before you know it, Kentucky hit 49 points in the first half, something I thought this team would never do the rest of the season. But not only was the offense much better, it looks like BJ Boston is finally starting to get some consistent play. This week, he was a definite star for Kentucky, scoring 18 points in both games, and now it's looked like it's starting to click for him. Here's what Boston had to say following the game against the Tigers.
I've been struggling, but I've just been staying positive, staying in the gym, working my tail off, and just keeping good spirits, knowing that I'm having a rough start, but everything's going to change, I feel like.
It's good to see Boston in a good headspace. He looks more confident in his ability, and it looks like he's starting to get it. Shots are falling for him, and he's able to get to the rim. However, as Jimmy Dykes and Coach Cal pointed out, if he can just stop those flip layups, everything will be fine for BJ Boston. And if he starts to get it, maybe this team can start to get it. And, Kentucky's going to hit a rough little stretch in their schedule right here, but the SEC tournament's not that far away, and as we've seen before, Coach Cal teams, when they get hot at the right time, they can make all of us believe. We might have the same situation here for the Cats. It's usually a pretty quiet time of year for the Kentucky football program, but they were nice enough to make some noise on the KSR airwaves this week. On Tuesday, Mark Stoops sat down with Matt Jones and the radio crew in the second hour for an hour-long sit-down conversation. And the same thing happened with Phil Hoskins and Quentin Bohanna on Wednesday as they sat down with Nick Roush for the KSR football podcast. You can catch up on all of that on KSR. I'm going to put the links below in this video so you can click on those and catch up on everything you need to know from the Kentucky football program this week. And keeping things on the football side, obviously the biggest thing for me is the game that's about to kick off between the Packers and the Bucs. You got Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady at Lambeau Field, frozen tundra. My head's about to explode. I'm too nervous to talk about it, but I gotta talk about it because Za'Darius Smith is playing for the Packers. Mike Edwards, who just sent Drew Brees into retirement last week, is playing for the Buccaneers, and Kentucky will have a guy play in the Super Bowl no matter what. However, I'm going to ask all of you, the good folks of the Big Blue Nation and the Kentucky Sports Radio family, to please pull for the Packers. Please. It's been a decade since we've been there. I know Tampa Bay, they haven't been there in a really long time, but they got Tom Brady. Do you guys really want to see Tom Brady go to another Super Bowl? No, you don't. You want to see Za'Darius Smith do it. Mike Edwards has plenty of time to do it. He's in his second year. Za'Darius has been in the league 5 or 6 years. Just come on. Let's all put on the cheesehead hats. Let's all put on our green and yellow, and let's all just root for the Packers. That's why we're doing this early. That's why I'm getting nervous. That's why I need to hurry up and get out of here before I combust, but before I do that, we got to talk about the women's basketball program. They are about to tip off against the 25th ranked Tennessee Vols in what will be a heavyweight showdown in the SEC. The Cats come off a 76-71 victory on the Plains against Auburn, in which Blair Green pitched in another 18-point performance, and Ryan Howard pitched in 14 points. That's all I've got today. I gotta go before I self-combust. Go Pack, go. Go Cats. Let's have a good week. Let's go to the Super Bowl.